Hello everyone, and welcome back to Foreign Eyes on America. When Korean students first arrive in the United States, they often expect a university campus to be like home, compact, walkable. Perhaps a cluster of buildings near the city. But what they encounter instead feels almost unreal. American universities are not just campuses, they are entire cities. Harvard has its own police department and postal code. Stanford's land area exceeds that of many Korean districts. Texas A&M even operates its own airport. For many newcomers, that first aerial view from the plane, a green sea of lawns, stadiums, and dorms becomes their first cultural shock. Walking across an American campus can take half an hour one way. Shuttle buses run on set schedules, resembling small city routes. Bicycles, skateboards, and electric scooters fill the paths between libraries and labs. Students joke that they burn more calories commuting between classes than they do at the gym. For Korean students accustomed to campuses where everything fits within 5 minutes of walking, the sheer vastness is both liberating and intimidating. Lakes, forests, sculpture gardens, and even farms surround many universities. What surprises them most is not just the physical distance, but the freedom of space, the feeling that knowledge itself stretches outward, unconfined. This abundance changes everything about student life. Libraries stay open all night, glowing under the quiet hum of fluorescent lights. Dormitories sprawl across hills like small neighborhoods, each with its own dining hall, cafe, and study area. Athletic fields stretch beyond sight, sometimes hosting crowds that rival professional sports. On weekends, entire communities gather for football games that fill 80,000-seat stadiums, complete with marching bands, cheerleaders, and alumni wearing school colors. For many international students, this is the moment of realization. The American university is not merely an academic institution, but a reflection of the nation's identity, sprawling, ambitious, confident, and designed to inspire awe. Even architecture becomes a language. From Princeton's Gothic towers to MIT's glass and steel laboratories, each structure declares a philosophy. Korean students quickly notice that in America, campuses are designed not for efficiency but for experience. The open lawns, fountains, and art installations invite wandering. Every bench seems to whisper, "Stay a little longer." Think. Education here is not confined to walls, it unfolds under trees, beside lakes, across fields. And it's not only students who occupy these spaces. Joggers from nearby towns, families with strollers, even local farmers' markets appear on campus grounds. The line between university and community blurs. Learning spills into daily life. So when Korean exchange students send photos home, grand quads, clock towers, libraries that look like cathedrals, their friends often reply in disbelief. Is that really a university? Yes, it is. And it's America's way of saying that education is not just about memorizing facts inside a classroom, it is about living among ideas, walking through inspiration, and studying in a world built to make imagination feel infinite. The size of American campuses is not accidental. It reflects a deeper philosophy about education and identity. In Korea, universities are designed for efficiency, vertical, compact, and optimized for convenience. In America, space itself is part of the lesson. The campus is not only a location but a living ecosystem that teaches independence, time management, and self-direction long before classes begin. For Korean students, the realization comes quickly: distance creates discipline. Missing the campus bus means learning punctuality the hard way. Walking uphill in the heat builds patience. Finding shortcuts becomes a daily challenge. The American campus demands planning: what to carry, when to eat, how to manage time. Freedom here comes with responsibility. Every choice becomes a quiet test of maturity. This use of space also shows how differently each culture defines belonging. In Korea, a university is often a temporary stop, a step toward the future. In America, it is a lifelong community. Alumni return decades later for reunions, football games, and homecoming parades. Entire towns grow around universities, their economy and identity tied to the school. To attend is to join a tribe, a living network of pride and memory. Korean students, watching thousands cheer their teams in school colors, often say, "It feels like living inside a movie." The campus spirit doesn't fade after graduation, it continues as shared identity, a cultural heartbeat. Nature, too, is a silent teacher. American campuses preserve forests, lakes, and meadows, not just for scenery but for reflection. There's a quiet belief that learning happens best where the mind can breathe. Students study under trees, right by the water, or simply walk to think. For many Korean students, this freedom feels Knew the idea that silence and space are also part of education. Creativity flows naturally when the world around you feels alive. Yet vastness brings challenges. The same openness that inspires can also isolate. Dorms may be far apart, and lecture halls distant. Some international students describe early weeks as lonely, surrounded by beauty, but missing the closeness of home. Still, for those who adapt, something changes. The campus transforms from a maze into a personal world. The paths become familiar, the spaces begin to feel like home. Independence, once daunting, turns into strength. In the end, Korean students learn that the size of American campuses mirrors the nation's spirit, bold, confident, and wide open. The lawns and skies are not just scenery. They are metaphors for freedom and imagination. To walk across an American campus is to walk through possibility. Itself a place where space becomes the teacher, and every step is part of the lesson. For many Korean students, their first real impression of America is not a city skyline or a landmark, it's the campus. Endless lawns, red brick libraries, and students cycling under a vast blue sky. At first, it feels cinematic, like stepping into a movie. But soon, the scale becomes more than scenery, it becomes a lifestyle. Classes are scattered across wide grounds. Walking 20 minutes between lectures or riding a shuttle is normal. Korean students joke that they get their daily workout just going to class. Yet in those walks, they discover something rare: time to think. The space between classes becomes a moment for reflection, a pause that city life seldom allows. This openness shapes how they learn. The lakes, lawns, and quiet corners invite curiosity and conversation. Students read under trees, debate by fountains, or simply sit to dream. In Korea, study often happens indoors. Here, learning spills into sunlight. Education feels alive, found not only in books, but in motion, in the rhythm of the open world. Dormitories, too, are part of this ecosystem. They're not just housing, they're communities. Shared kitchens and study rooms mix cultures and stories. Korean students find themselves sharing late-night ramen with friends from India, Spain, or Brazil, laughing about the same struggles of homesickness. These moments become lessons in empathy and independence, education through friendship. Then come the weekends. Even students indifferent to sports can't escape the fever of football season. The entire university, sometimes the whole town, gathers under one color, one cheer. For Korean students, the sight of 80,000 people roaring together feels surreal, an energy that turns school spirit into collective identity. But this vastness also tests endurance. The first winter can be harsh, the distance lonely. Yet, as time passes, the campus that once seemed endless becomes familiar. Paths gain meaning, benches hold memories, and every corner tells a story. The immensity turns personal. By graduation, most realize they've learned more than academics. They've learned rhythm, resilience, and confidence, the art of being alone yet never isolated. The spacious design of American campuses mirrors the country's character: open, ambitious, and endlessly expanding. When Korean students return home, they carry that openness within them. They look at smaller campuses and crowded streets with new eyes, remembering the freedom of space where they once walked and dreamed. And perhaps that is the lasting lesson: education isn't only about knowledge, but about the courage to step into the wide unknown and make it your own. Thank you for watching Foreign Eyes on America. If you enjoyed this story, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Every view, every comment helps us bring you more stories from around the world. Until next time, keep learning, keep wondering, and see America through foreign eyes.